was Andhra Pradesh, which is often referred as AP, is just not AP. It's also a state of abundant potential, which is also an AP. The visionary leadership of Honorable Chief Minister has shown the country as well as the world how a single state can actually be a role model, not only for developing states and other states in the country, but also developing countries outside the world. With this context, it is now my immense privilege and honor of life to invite Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, to deliver his chair remarks. Sir.
Respected Minister for Energy, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Ravi Kumar Garu, dignitaries on the dais, respected Sri Anil Sardana, MD, Adani Energy, R.K. Tyagi, CMD Power Grid, respected Sri B.C. Tripathi, Advisor Greencom, respected Sri Abel, President German Solar Association, respected Sri J.P. Chalasani, CEO Sujalan, Special Chief Secretary Government of Andhra Pradesh, Energy, Sri Vijayanand, and investors, friends, and also Adani Green Energy, Amit Singh. There is a very good response. First of all, I am thanking on behalf of Andhra Pradesh government. 25 years back, exactly, I started up talking about IT. At that time, that was the beginning. If you see, mid-90s, internet revolution has come. Bill Gates innovated internet. That is the beginning of information technology in a big way. And also India had an advantage. We started economic reforms in 1991. All of us, if you go back, pre-economic reforms, post-economic reforms, there is a sea change. Pre-economic reforms, nominal growth, wealth creation also very nominal. There were no funds for day-to-day development also. Post-economic reforms, we are able to move very fast. Added to that, technology, first mover advantage for India. That is where I always say, if you can go anywhere in the world now, for every 4 IT professionals, one is Indian. Further, if you deep dive, among 4 IT professionals of Indian, one is from Andhra Pradesh, from Telugu states. Now there is a windfall gain. That windfall gain is demographic advantage. Now we promote entrepreneurs also. With all these things now, highest per capita income everywhere, all over the world, only Indians, number one. Not wealth, but per capita. The day will come, wealth also Indians will dominate by doing better services globally. This is going to happen. At that time, I used to talk about information technology, revolution, how it is going to emerge. I've seen everything up to artificial intelligence now. Cloud management, fintech, you name anything, everything is possible. Drones, virtual, horizontal integration, everything is happening. Now, it is beginning of green energy revolution. Morning also I told very clearly, I have seen no fire in my village. When I was in elementary school, slowly fire has come. We used to celebrate. In 99, 97 or 90s, there is no full power. In assemblies, we used to have budget session March, April. At that time, there is no power. So, most of our time was focused only power shortage. And also, agricultural lands are drying. Opposition parties wish to always stall the proceedings. Even sometimes in 95, first time, I adjourned assembly, I went to field to witness what is happening. That were the days. Then we brought power sector reforms, I told you morning. And by 2004, we have become power surplus. Again, 2014, in democracy sometimes we have to face so many problems also. Winning, losing elections, all these things, continuity, all problems. 2014, again I started solar, wind energy in a big way. Today again, 5 years we had a gap. Otherwise, today in this function we should have taken awards, all awards, not other states. First, in elementary school, slowly power has come. We used to celebrate. In 99, 97 or 90s, first plate only for Andhra Pradesh, then others also. 5 years ease of doing business, we are number one at the time. So naturally proactive policies and also very, very aggressive way of promoting, then others also will work in the direction. Today, my request to you, we are very, very inspiring time. This is where energy, fuel management will be the future agenda. India is going to have excellent advantage. God has given India different zones, different advantages. Rajasthan, abundant land. Northeastern states, abundant idle power. Even East Coast, West Coast, green hydrogen exports, number of ports. If you can utilize all these things, if you can create a better ecosystem, then globally we will have a very good, bright future. economy, and also wealth creation, employment generation, so many advantages are going to come. In this background, I wanted to present to you Clean Energy ICE Policy 2024, Andhra Pradesh. 4 main focus points I am placing before you. Our approach: harness RE potential in the state, promote clean energy solutions, contribute to the state and country's net zero targets. Number 2, optimize energy cost by increased RE adoption, cutting edge technologies. Cost optimization is very, very important. If I go lopsided, cost will be more, unsustainable, then we'll have a problem. So utilize transmission network for energy balancing and grid management. Dedicated green energy corridors. You are seeing today national highways. Everybody will have a car, their own way of transport or public transport. There is a national highway. Basing on vehicle movement, you can go 2 lane, 4 lane, 8 lane, 16 lane. That is the order of the day. So same thing, we have to promote in a big way these transmission lines. Even state, we must have a dedicated lines. Even green hydrogen hubs, we must have a direct transmission highways, I can say. And also we have to promote manufacturing ecosystem, attract investors, developers to set up clean energy plants. Finally, facilitate circular economy around clean energy solutions, creating employment, that is direct and indirect employment in a big way. Sorry. If you see here, key features, contours of API's policy, operating period tentatively, I am always proactive, not reactive. If somebody is giving viable alternative policy, compared to that, better policy I can give. That is my marketing strategy from the beginning. That is how I attracted so many projects for Andhra Pradesh. And also policy applicability, RE projects including manufacturing projects, undertake midterm reviews wherever there is a necessity, technological advancements, remove any difficulty, inconsistencies with Electricity Act 2003 and its amendments, project or SPY transfers, allotment process simplified and SPY transfers allowed, project timelines, project milestones will be defined, and deemed cancellation increases of defaults, clean energy knowledge, skill development center, NEREDCAP and SDC to establish university like that, all training in a big way by associating with all of you. It is a new industry altogether. I know the difficulty when I started IT. Now, same thing, electricity, everybody is aware, but green energy, latest technologies, all these things, we have to prepare skilled human resources. Our nodal agency, our NEDCAP, they will act as a nodal agency, land facilitation, obtain list of available lands, parcels and facilitate land, lease, everything. We are having good amount of land, but we'll acquire land wherever necessary. Generally, in Andhra Pradesh, acquisition of land through win-win situation. Always, sometimes we may not give required compensation for them. Then it is very difficult. Whenever there is a land acquisition, we have to go with human angle, convincing them everything, then we can do positively. For evacuation, open access, availing central government incentives totally, coordination activities, coordination with central and state agencies, arranging necessary statutory clearances, approvals, capacity allocation, everything, this SNA will be net cap. They will do all these things, they will work it out. Next one is incentives, wind and solar hybrid projects, land at reasonable lease rates, and also private land at competitive lease rates, distributed solar rooftops, net metering, gross metering, net billing, virtual net metering, group net metering allowed. Various types of, wherever there is innovation, we are with you to take innovation. Banking allowed as per the APRC regulations. Distribution wheeling charges nil if injection and withdrawals are the same voltage levels, INR unit of LT consumers, and block wise and for others. And incentives for solar and wind manufacturing, stamp duty of land conversion, waiver of stamp duty of conversion to non-agricultural land and exemption land ceiling act, reimbursement of SGST, reimbursement of SGST for capital resources, manufacturing and on sale of products, off-take guarantee and priority, preferential allocation of capacity to manufacture at L1 tariff, preference to projects awarded under PLI scheme, electricity duty exemption, ED exemption on power consumption. These are all the tentative incentives we are working. Even we'll take some feedback on other states and then we'll work it out and then I will announce a policy. Pumped storage power, land lease budgetary support, land lease at competitive rates, SNA coordinates with MOP for grants, budgetary support and enabling infrastructure, power evacuation charges, block wise 15 minutes, intrastate transmission wheel charges, INR unit for LT consumers, electricity duty, waiver of conversion loss, all other facilities, exemption from clearances and royalty, exempted for obtaining pollution clearances, no requirement of free power to home state, other incentives, waiver of stamp duty for land to be acquired for off the river PSPs, supply of water for the initial filling and evaporation losses, and waiver of water cess. These are all some other incentives at pumped storage energy. If you can go for BESS, enabling business models, cost plus model, competitive bidding, sharing of profit, storage as a service, distribution wheeling charges nil if injection and withdrawal are at the same voltage levels, INR unit for LT consumers and block wise for others. Transmission charges and electricity duty, block wise 15 minutes, intrastate transmission charges, electricity duty ED waiver for conversion losses, SGST and cross subsidy surcharge, reimbursement of net SGST, CSS levied only on the final consumption of electricity. Here, incentives for biofuels, capital subsidy, on cost of CBG and 2G ethanol plant equipment, SGST reimbursement, electricity duty exemption, biomass collection and subsidy, skilling and training, stamp duty, land conversion, power supply and non-agriculture status, procurement from feedstock, collection centers set up by farmers, single window clearances. These are all various incentives we want to provide for biogas, biofuels incentives. Then if you can see green hydrogen and its derivatives, capital subsidy for GH and its derivatives, land lease at market rates, green hydrogen hubs, transmission charges, electricity duty, additional surcharge, all these things we are giving clarity, exemption of stamp duty and SGST reimbursement. This is where green hydrogen we are working. Then hydrogen manufacturing, green hydrogen vehicles, refilling stations, BESS manufacturing. These are all incentives for electrolyzer manufacturing. Capital subsidy for manufacturing electrolyzer, exemption of land use, conversion charges and stamp duty, reimbursement of net SGST, employment generation, cost subsidy, electricity duty and power supply exemption of electricity duty and rebate and power tariff. Incentives for hydrogen vehicles, refilling stations, capital subsidy for green hydrogen fuel, cell trucks, buses and other transport vehicles, capital subsidy for fueling plants, SGST reimbursement on purchase of machinery for hydrogen generation and refilling stations, incentives for BESS manufacturing, capital subsidy and reimbursement, SGST revenue, off-take guarantee and reimbursement of electricity duty and power subsidy. Even electric vehicle charging infrastructure, quality standards, mandates, land lease, capital subsidy, tariff, maximum ceiling tariff for EV and consumers, separate EV tariff category to charge point operator, avail open access green OA generator. These are all various things we want to offer for charging stations. All these things I want to create one of the best ecosystem. If I go only one area, I may not integrate everything. So all ecosystem we want to balance. Our main aim is cost optimization of energy, and at the same time, for future technologies I want to take first more advantage in the direction. There also we are working green hydrogen, downstream industries, other areas. For all these things, I am assuring you, as on today we are talking ease of doing business. From now onwards we are talking speed of doing business. Ease of doing business once, that is the history. There we used to get all 5 years, number one in ease of doing business. Now you can appreciate how to do speed of doing business. Everything is virtual. No need to have any speed breakers everywhere. Once policy is very clear, automatically we'll put it on autopilot. That is what I am assuring all of you. And then you are going to see total change in this direction. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence, drones integration, even cell phone as a tool, wherever you say it, you can do virtual work. That is the order of the day. Even CCTV cameras we can track. These are all again cloud management, and by data optimum, how to go for artificial intelligence, real-time solutions. That is where it is going to happen. With all these things, you will have an advantage. Any decision, accuracy will be 80% minimum. It is only matter of time, 90-95% more than that. It may be health, it may be education, it may be agriculture, it may be power, it may be road infrastructure maintenance, infrastructure creation, everything is real time, we can monitor. So we are having an advantage here. 974 kilometers, nearly 1,000 kilometers east coast, that is on east coast. No other, that is central place. That is the biggest advantage we are having. Already we are having 6 ports. Now 4 more ports are coming. It will be 10 ports. On information technology, we are very strong. In knowledge economy, you are seeing Telugu states are dominating now. With this, we are having manpower. We will train them. We are having excellent manpower. And also we are going to create industrial hubs, cluster development, and port-led economy to reach there also. Excellent in road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, air infrastructure, everything will integrate there. Government support and incentives time to time, we will watch, we will extend all this support for you. Access to infrastructure in a way, I told you very clear. And also raw materials, high-grade quartz, silica sand, all required mineral wealth is available in Andhra Pradesh. I want to go modules and molecules. That is the strength we are having. So with all these things, this policy, democratization, decentralization, dynamic policy always. Democratization of power generation, everything. Decentralization, automatically it will happen, and also dynamic policies will create. That is where I told you 3 dimensions to do speed of doing business instead of ease of doing business. With this, goals of AP Clean Energy Policy, Green Power Catalyst aims to serve as a green power catalyst profiling India's RE goals. Human Capital Hub for RE. Evolve as the premier talent hub through public-private people's partnership, shaping the future of India's RE sector. I am involving here one more P. As on today, economic reforms we have done public-private partnership. Now I am adding public-private people's partnership. Farmer, he will join here. Once he join, he will be a partner in this. Then there is no problem at all. He will produce power, he will give it to grid or rooftop. Like that, we can create innovative policies. By evolving these policies, then automatically We will create one of the best ecosystem. Even my Amaravati, 34,000 acres of land, without paying 1 rupee, I was able to acquire under Land Pooling Act. I am taking 1 acre of land. In turn of development, I am giving 1,000 or 1,200 square yards return for him, either house site or otherwise residential or commercial. Both mix I am giving. Without spending 1 pi, even I am able to save nearly 10,000 acres of land. That land I am using for public purposes and also monetization. I can mobilize minimum 1 lakh crores or 2 lakh crores with this land. I can construct my capital. That is how I am thinking in a big way. Even power sector also we can go. That is where I want to involve people as partners. And also energy storage capital, emerge as India's energy storage capital to build resilient and flexible electrical grids. Clean energy manufacturing hub, emerge as the nation's clean energy manufacturing hub, mine to molecule, driving the green revolution forward. Green hydrogen economy, this is the future. How to go about, we are working, we are going to do it. Finally, this is our goal, ICE policy, next 5 years. Solar, wind, solar target, 78.50 GWP. Wind energy, 35 GW. Pumped energy, pumped storage, 22 GW. Battery energy storage, 25 GWH. 5,000 PCS EV charging infrastructure. Emerging technologies, 1.50 MMTPA green hydrogen derivatives. Ethanol, 1,500 KLPD. Bio-CNG, CBG, 1,000 TPD, biofuels. This is our targets. Total investments I am planning, 10 lakh crores, 7.5 lakh employment direct and indirect. Today, Minister has assured 30 lakh crores investment for next 5 years. In that, I am having an action plan for 10 lakhs, 1/3 investment in Andhra Pradesh. That is our aim. That is our goal. That is our vision. I strongly believe there is one more revolution, that is green energy revolution. Earlier revolution, so many revolutions we have seen. Earlier agriculture, then manufacturing, then technology, all these things we have seen. Now, energy revolution, particularly green energy revolution. Thereby, green hydrogen and downstream industries, it is going to happen. This is where I want to place before you, be partners with us. We will work together to achieve our goals. I don't have any doubt India will become developed nation by 2047. By that time, we will reach green energy and green hydrogen downstream industries targets also for creating wealth and employment for this great nation. With this, I am thanking all of you. Thank you, one and all. Anybody want to ask any questions? What is the structure? Yeah.
Let's have a huge round of applause to Honorable Chief Minister. No wonder he is known as the CEO Chief Minister. Let's have a huge round of applause to Honorable Chief Minister. No wonder he's known as the CEO, Chief Minister, where we have now have gotten a run through of his vision for an entire integrated clean energy hub of the state of Andhra Pradesh. So thank you very much for sharing with us your vision of how Swarnandhra 2047 vision looks like when it comes to renewable energy. We also have a very eminent set of panelists today, and I would now take the liberty to request each of these panelists to speak about one of the key areas that the Honorable Chief Minister has highlighted in his presentation. To begin with, I'm very happy to mention about the presence of Mr. Jörg Ebel, the president of German Solar Association, and he's also with IBC Solar. Mr. Ebel, thank you for joining along with the official German delegation here. You've seen a very thorough presentation of Honorable Chief Minister. Can you share Germany's perspective from your experience, how energy transition was accelerated in the case of the German experience, and specifically if you can also touch upon how state like Andhra Pradesh, which has immense potential, can also leverage the rooftop solar potential growth and tap into its untapped potential of distributed solar. All yours.
Thank you so much. First of all, a warm welcome from my side in the name of the whole solar industry of Germany. This was very inspiring to hear the words of you, Honorable Chief Minister. Thank you for this very inspiring words, numbers and details providing and sharing with us. In Germany, we have, of course, a long tradition in installing solar energy, and the company I have also the honor to present is active since more than 40 years. So we know a little bit about the barriers and burdens laying before the deployment of solar. And answering your question, I may provide a little bit an insight what we do to strengthen the rooftop segment in the solar market. As you might know, the rooftop segment is in Germany, vice versa to those in India, the stronger part of the installations. We have more than 60% rooftop installations, and in last year we made alone 6 gigawatt in small houses, up to 30 kilowatt. So this might be a little bit interesting. And looking at this inspiration and inspiring words of you, I thought a little bit on our efforts to strengthen this segment, and the way to strengthen it in Germany runs through instrument which is aligning with the technical questions we all are facing, looking at a raising rooftop segment. We are combining in Germany storage systems and mostly giving incentive to the storage system if they are combined together with a solar system. And so this approach is smart in our eyes because we have storage capacity, and we have a kind of energy management which is very important for the grid if it comes to higher installation numbers. And what we did this year was a new legislation which allows energy sharing. That means that we do not only focus on the single rooftop, but on several rooftops in the neighborhood. And we allow to install storage systems combined with several rooftop systems. And so it's much easier to have those installations in this way. And another thing I'd like to share is that we started this year with the liberalization of balcony solar, because this is a first attempt to get people to being allowed to use photovoltaics which do not have the opportunity or the money to install complete rooftop systems, but to have cheaper one. And the way for this is beneath net metering, which you already allows, to have certain standards to avoid that too cheap and maybe too unsecure systems will be installed. And we have a great success with those very small systems. They are sold at every corner, and also inhabitants of larger houses are now allowed, and it's possible for them to install the small systems at their balconies. And that might be another idea which could be thinkable about.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abel, for sharing your input. Mr. Abel,
You have cluster approach you have taken, rooftop, cluster approach. What I want to know from you, different rooftops, 10, 20, 30 like that. Then you are taking cluster approach, directly they can consume, or otherwise you can go for battery. What is the approach you are taking? I want to understand further details. What I am thinking, even friends are here. In a village, 100 or 200 rooftop, they will have installations. Sometimes they will use directly. Sometimes they will have a savings. Savings will come for battery charging. Then local charging, local battery will be available for a group of people. Whenever there is a necessity in the time, off season, they can use this battery. Is it workable? How you are doing that exercise?
So it's very attractive for rooftop users. I have to tell about the history in Germany, because we had rules against self-consumption in Germany for several years, which hinders the use of those electricity, and for that reason storage was very, very unattractive. And now it has turned by 180 degrees, and now we vice versa are behind self-consumption, and beneath that it is something I was for long years asking for, and our industry were asking for. And we have now nearly every new installed PV system on rooftops combined with storage in Germany concerning the smaller residential houses.
Not a house. That is individual, not a group. Group or individual, your storage.
It's a very new rule, and we're developing it new. It is European legislation which has to be adopted by the member states, for example, by Germany. And we are now clearing how we will adopt these rules, and then it is allowed to create energy sharing and to have those approaches.
No, that is a very good idea he has given. I have seen this for department around late 90s. At that time, very cumbersome procedures. One person will come, he will take the energy bill, consumption, he will take a meter reading. He will go to department, he will give it to office. Then office will send it to one auditor. Auditor will raise the bill, some agency. Again bills will come. Again electricity department will say somebody has to go and deliver door delivery to every consumer. Then there is a bill collector. He used to go to one day, particular day, every consumer has to come and pay for our bill. You can see again it has to verify all these things. Even somebody is not paying, then Other electrician has to go and disconnect. This is the procedures we are following. Then I told them, what nonsense, you are outdated, what is happening, technology has come. Then I created a device, automatic billing. That means one fellow will have a automatic device, billing device, he will go to home, he will give bill. After that I they can invest on battery, they can trade it also whenever there is a demand, or otherwise cluster of houses they can generate, they can invest on battery, somebody will invest in battery, pro rata he will pay, for that he will collect some money. Battery, this is the two alternatives. Then rooftop will become more viable. That is what I am thinking. I am very happy. By talking to him, there is one more idea, we got it now. Originally I thought how to do it. Now sometimes only one person will use all his energy. Sometimes he may not use his energy also full potential. We are wasting. Once charged, you have to use it. Otherwise, it will be waste. So I am very happy for that. We'll evolve in course of time. Technology is very, very powerful now. We can remote control, remote operation, remote off and on. Every home we will cut power, we will do all these things. Even morning, that is what I told very clearly. Even governments wants some cross subsidies, everything. You can go for electricity duty. Why should you penalize people with inefficiency? Electricity board is most inefficient department. We are penalizing. That is not correct approach. Thank you. Very nice of idea. Good idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the idea. Sir, now I would like to turn to Mr. R.K. Tyagi ji, CMD Power Grid. Sir, it's often mentioned, Tyagi ji, that there is no transition without transmission. So, what do you think are Power Grid's plans for creating a robust infrastructure, especially with the ambitious targets Honorable Chief Minister has mentioned, and he also mentioned about green transmission highways that can be used for dedicated evacuation of renewable energy. So I would like to hear some thoughts from you briefly on the same.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister has given a very broad picture of green energy revolution, especially for solar installed capacity of about 78.5 gigawatt, wind energy 35 gigawatt, and pump storage about 22 gigawatt. So without transmission system, this vision cannot be complete or it cannot be fulfilled. Worldwide, there is a discussion that energy transition means transmission has to be there. If no transmission, no energy transition. Power Grid is a largest transmission company, one of the largest transmission company in the world. We have 279 substations in almost all parts of the country, about 1,78,000 circuit kilometer, and it is integrated grid where power can be generated anywhere in the country and can be transmitted to any other part of the country. If Andhra Pradesh is thinking of green energy revolution, so transmission system has to be strengthened. It has to be upgraded to 765 kV level, 800 kV HVDC, narrow base transmission line towers, especially in urban area where monopole or bipoles, where the ROW or land requirement is minimum. Sir, we already have huge network in Andhra Pradesh, but more transmission network will be required. Government of India has already planned for about 51 gigawatt solar power in Andhra Pradesh, and mainly Kurnool, Anantpuram, Kadapa, these are the areas where potentials have been identified. And as per your vision, more areas like 78 gigawatt, that means there are some potential areas. And green hydrogen hubs are in Kakinada, Vizag, and Ramayapatnam. So we have to connect these solar potential or RE potential area with green hydrogen hubs, load centers, with highly technical solutions, with reactive power management, dynamic compensation, and for intermittency of renewable, we have to take state-of-the-art technologies. And I'm sure that with participation or collaboration of Power Grid, vision of Honorable CM will be fulfilled. And we are fully committed for Andhra Pradesh, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Tyagi, for outlining your plans for Andhra Pradesh. I would now like to shift the discussion to the large-scale projects, and we have with us Mr. Suman Kumar from Evren. Mr. Kumar, Evren has committed a significant investments for developing RE projects in Andhra Pradesh. So what, according to you, makes AP the hot spot for attracting investments in the country?
1 minute. You are prepared for going joint ventures also? Your policy permits now?
Yes, sir. We are ready. Like we already have joint venture with Bihar and Rajasthan.
Not only governments, even private people.
Normally we have joint venture with the state of particular state like Rajasthan or Andhra, and private we have to take approval from Government of India.
No, everything PPP model, public-private participation. That is where roads, I fought roads in late 90s. At that time, nobody agreed. Even departments won't agree. You may not agree. I know. Don't mistake me. Always. At that time, they opposed. Then we fought. That is how public-private partnership has come. First road, Nellore to Chennai, first bid by Malaysian company. Then Golden Quadrilateral Road. Then all roads have come. Now they are having surplus funds. You are also very rich. You are having more funds, I know, Power Grid Corporation. But need of the future is very huge.
Yeah.
Why can't you prepare? Even Government of India has to create a policy. We'll talk to them. Public-private partnerships. Then huge opportunities. Governments will work it out. Even private also will bring, more accountability will come. We'll think.
Thank you very much, sir.
So basically, Subbu asked me why you are investing so heavily in Andhra in renewable energy sector. So before I give a long answer to him, I have a short answer. Today, entire day, Honorable CM is the only presentation which is so comprehensive. Each and everything is crystal clear, all the policies, all technologies. So it was so informative. What as business people and industry people, we could have taken 4 days or at least couple of hours to learn. We learned only in half an hour. So we are just by attending this AP session, we have a profit of 3.5 hours and more. So imagine what will happen if you go and invest that estate. So that is the short answer on a lighter note. Now, thank you, sir. I was personally very impressed. It was so comprehensive, business friendly. So I thought I should put it on record. I took the liberty of mentioning this. We are already investing in the state for past couple of years, and we have committed 50,000 crores, 9 gigawatt, which is already approved by us in solar, wind, and there are many good reasons for that. Number one, Andhra is one of the very few states where you have very large scale good resource potential. You have large scale potential of solar, you have wind, and you have pump hydro projects, and you have a very, very good coastline. Honorable CM mentioned that we have 4 ports coming up. I happened to visit some of them for myself. So you could basically leverage these ports for green ammonia export hubs. Port access is very, very critical. And we do not find any state where you could do solar and wind both. So that is number one. Number two, Mr. Tyagi is already here. Grid evacuation infrastructure. In our renewable industry, sir, we always discuss where do we find connectivity. That's the number one problem we have. And with the proactive support of state government, Power Grid and CTU is relatively more successful in creating grid infrastructure in Andhra, and that is a lesser constraint. And thanks to Power Grid, Mr. Tyagi ji is here, and thanks to Mr. Vijay Anand. That is another reason. You have the resource, you have the grid. And third reason is capital can go anywhere where everything is friendly. And the state machinery now, and the policy is coming up soon. We see a lot of activity already in various state departments, NRED CAP, the energy department, all the DISCOMs. So we feel quite comfortable, is friendly. Of course, is always, we have room to improve, but given overall, we have been, we found that it is perhaps the best opportunity for our large scale capital. That's the reason we are there.
Thank you. Nice, kind words. We will live up to your expectations. We will work in that direction. I am very happy. Always improvement, there is a scope. By listening all of you, how to improve further, we will work in that direction. Thank you.
I would now like to shift the discussion towards one of the most important topics, which is also closer to your heart, which is the wind sector. We have with us Shri J.P. Chalasani Garu, CEO Suzlon. Mr. Chalasani, AP is undoubtedly one of the leading states in the country with respect to wind. And today we are seeing appetite for firm dispatchable renewable energy growing. So in your opinion, what do you attribute to the success of AP in India's wind story, and how do you see the role of Andhra Pradesh emerging in the new age bids which are not plain vanilla solar or wind?
Thank you, Subbu. Two caveats before I speak. One is I'm a domicile of AP, and second is I'm a big fan. I don't mind announcing that of Mr. Naidu, professionally. So the thing is that I've been following you for the last 40 years. I had my experience of creating Simadri project with you and various things. And you just not talked about distribution, billing. I distinctly remember when Delhi got privatized, I wasn't realized that time, I was the first CEO of a couple of distribution companies there. The first phone call we requested was AP Discom CMDs for learning how to do the distribution, how you improve the efficiencies there. I remember that after a few months, then Mr. Anil Ambani said, let's go and Mr. Naidu, let's see what we can do in AP in distribution, because we wanted to expand our business. Sir, you may not remember, it was at a Sankranti, we came to your house, spent there. When we were talking about distribution, for 2 hours, you gave me a lecture on what are you doing on distribution, billing, old city problems, how are you resolving the billing and collection there. We came out, I told Mr. Ambani saying that, sir, this is not the place. They're already doing it. Let's go and do somewhere else. So I think that's something which you've been teaching us, not just me, the most of the professionals in the power sector. Even the latest flood relief what you have done. So there are some lessons for corporate CEOs like us. Okay? I was at Vijayawada the last weekend. When you talk to the people, what you hear from them is that it's not that what you've done. I think more importantly is that the confidence that government is working, they will take care of us. That anxiety of people is what you're taking away. If as corporate CEO we can do that internally and externally, that's a big thing for us. That's what I wanted to put a caveat. But coming back to Subbu, what you asked on these things, AP is really blessed in a number of ways. As we saw the use potential for wind, use potential for solar. But what also important factor is that in wind everybody looks at PLF. But AP has a uniqueness that even if the PLF is little lower compared to the neighboring states, the power availability during the peak hours is much higher in AP. So therefore, the AP is a hotbed for hybridization compared to other states. So that's one thing. You can't just look at what is the PLF in AP versus a PLF in Tamil Nadu. But that wind profile, when you look at it, it's ideally suited for hybridization. So therefore, on top of it, with the whatever you can do in solar manufacturing there, you talked about mine to module, putting that and hydro. AP has been pioneer in pumped hydro and then left some time back, long back. One of the first pumped hydro power stations came up in AP. Hydro, because with all this, I think the AP is the real place where we can go for FDRE, because the load following FDRE is the one which will replace fossil fuel, where we can set up power plants which can actually meet 15-minute demand, which is what is the most of the bids are coming now, and even the tariffs are reached to sub 5, it will further come down. Practically same tariff as fossil fuel is the right one. So therefore, AP is the hotbed for FDRE and hybridization. So, but most important thing, sir, is that resources are huge in the country. Even as a country, we have 1,200 gigawatts of wind potential. We have hardly used 4%. But what is most important is, in my opinion, is the enabling environment. Okay? It's not just the resources. Like you talked about a great thing today, you said that not ease of doing business, speed of doing business. So what the most of us look at is that what is the enabling environment there? What is the speed of decision making? Is what is important. That is what you're known to create. But one suggestion, I hope, is that the morning you spoke that reforms made you to lose elections, power sector reforms. My assumption is that the green energy revolution would make you to win the election. That is advantage to us, is that we will have policy stability. Otherwise, we don't want to have this 5 years policy push and then we have a 5-year holiday, then 5-year policy push. We would like the policy stability. The only way we request you is keep winning elections, so that will provide us the policy stability. Thank you so much, sir.
Last, what you said?
Sir, I said, I know everyone sitting here, only want in AP is that AP is, as long as you're there, we all will run with you. Okay? I know you will run faster than us in giving decisions and demanding. I know how closely you monitor the progress. You're a terror in monitoring the progress. Okay? But we want that policy consistency, policy support to continue. Don't want to have a policy holidays. So I'm only saying that through this green energy revolution, keep winning elections. And then, so also my personal interest of coming from that state. Okay. So we will, you couldn't become number one, you said. You would have been number one today. So, but maybe, get that permanent position of number one. So that's my wish to you.
Chalasani garu has rightly mentioned, always I am ahead of times. From now onwards, 20 years, what is going to happen, I will plan from now itself, today itself. That is my strength. At the same time, sometimes in politics, I have to balance and manage and communicate properly public. The obsession, I want to do everything. If all of you praise, then I will think, okay, I am doing right, and then move forward fast. Then at the end of the day, sometimes we will lose balance, or we are not in a position to communicate properly. This time it won't happen. I will maintain balance. Continuously I will see the public feedback. That's why I am balancing both welfare and also development and also feel good factor. Continuously with public, I will manage. Then my policies will be permanent. I can do better work by doing that. I entirely realized now I am very technology, everything has come. I will integrate everything. This time I had a historic victory. 93% we have won. Never in the history of my party also. Opposition party got only 11 seats. There are so many historical reasons also. So with this victory, I wanted to take forward continuously how to take them, my stakeholders.
Actually, sir,
You
that's
are
what
all
you
my
said.
supporters. Real stakeholders are my voters. How to empower them continuously, I have to work with them. I will do that.
No, but that's what you said. I read in the article what attracted me today was you talked about land acquisition problems and you talked about 3Ps, which you mentioned now, public, private and people. I think that's what is required, sir. So just by pushing on the people, you're not really going to do that. So what I like,
No, everybody
best part
is
of the article is
smart.
3Ps.
No, everybody is smart, you are smart, public also very smart. But we have to balance everybody. Win-win situation, empowering people is our criteria. I am introducing one more policy here, P4, Public-Private People's Partnership, how to eradicate poverty, how to empower them. I wanted to involve industrialists also in that. Some people are always poor. Is it not our social responsibility? You are having CSR, so many things. Spending money is one, and hand holding is another. Sometimes I was born in a small village. I used to walk to a high school 7 kilometers, even high school. Even Modi ji always is saying how he brought up. So that is the humble stories behind everybody. So what we have to do by using our management techniques or bandwidth, can we change 1,000 families, 500 families basing on your resources and bandwidth? You are having so many verticals, all industries. One vertical you can create how to eradicate poverty, how to handhold poor people. Plan short term, medium term, long term, and move in that direction. I will come back with that policy. I am very fascinated. I don't want to see 2047 below poverty line. Second one, this inequality is also too much disparities. That is also not good for the society. How to bridge the gap between haves and have-nots is a continuous process. All of us has to work in the direction. Then only we'll have that type of impact. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We are almost running out of time, so I'd request the last two panelists to kindly keep their remarks brief. Honorable Chief Minister has mentioned in Chief Minister plenary also, and even in the presentation a little while back, about modules to molecules. So I think there is none other than Amit ji from Adani Green Energy to sort of answer this question. Adani is one of the largest renewable energy companies in the country. You also have ambitious manufacturing plans. So would like to know from you how AP, as you heard from Honorable Chief Minister, can leverage its geographic as well as demographic dividend and become one of the leading manufacturing states. Request you to kindly keep your remarks limited to 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you. First of all, I think I would just echo everybody's sentiment. Very, very precise and very futuristic vision which was presented by you, Honorable Chief Minister. I think it's going to help us accelerate our move in Andhra. And I must also compliment that for Adani Green, Andhra is a key state, and the people of Andhra, we have 7+ gigawatt of projects which are under construction, which are getting ready for Andhra, and we have 2 large pump storage projects, one in Chitravati, which we have already started. It's our first project in India, which is under construction, and we have another 1,000 megawatt project in Andhra, which is under planning stage. We have 2 things which is the reliance on storage systems. As renewable power grows in our country, we need to really promote storage solutions. The subsidy you talked about, the incentives you talked about are going to go a long way. I think we should keep them and enhance them as we go. I also saw very clearly you talked about exporting power will have no charges or any royalties. Great. I think we should have this kind of system in place everywhere. Second, I think you talked about people. I want to highlight that vocational skills in these projects is in limited supply. A lot of times when we are running fast, we need people who are skilled, people who have the competency to work, both in the manufacturing side and execution side. It will be great to have a very focused approach towards skill development, especially vocational skill development. And, I'm an engineer myself, but I think we need more people who have practical skills to do the groundwork. And I think that is something which I would encourage. And third thing, I can just chip in, renewable power depends a lot on weather. Weather forecast is a critical area of improvement as well. Today, if you look at the density of weather monitoring stations we have, our ability to forecast short-term and long-term wind or solar radiation, especially with wind, is still far from ideal. I think that is something which I didn't notice on your slide, sir, but I would highly encourage that a focused effort is made to improve our weather forecasting systems, which will greatly impact and benefit the sector and improve our deployment as well.
Adding on to that, maybe Bhuvan Chand Tripathi ji from Greenco, we heard from modules. Honorable Chief Minister's vision is also on molecules, and Greenco is one of the leading green hydrogen manufacturers, and you also tied up a lot of capacities for export. How do you look at AP emerging as the hub for green hydrogen, not just in India but also for Southeast Asia?
Thank you, Honorable CM. It is always a pleasure to be interacting with you. I remember from way back 2000 when I made first presentation to you in a combined state of Andhra Pradesh. I have been interacting with you. Just to share the audience here, I have been interacting with you as the Chairman Gale, resolving issues in Andhra Bhavan in Delhi over a breakfast. So that's the way you have been solving and helping the industry. So you are known for that. So it's always a pleasure, sir. And I could not realize that after my retirement, I'll have this opportunity to work with the organization, which is your home company in the state of Andhra Pradesh. You talked about integrated policy and all the facet of that. Greenco is already present in Andhra Pradesh. Greenco has already committed $10 billion investment in all the facets which you talked about. It started with a small company with 5 to 10 megawatt capacity. Today it is 7.5 gigawatt operating platform. People are talking about storage is the necessity for better penetration of renewable. I think I must compliment the promoters. They have thought about this 3 or 4 years back. And you are going to have the Asia's largest energy storage project getting commissioned in next few months in the state of Andhra Pradesh, which is going to be a 10 gigawatt hour renewable energy storage platform operating on a digital cloud with state-of-art AI and ML facility. And Greenco has already carved a strategy to go to 100 gigawatt hours. Right now, around 25 gigawatt hour storage projects are being implemented as in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. You talked about green molecule. They have already identified a green molecule complex in Kakinada, where they are going to set up. One of the key elements in this is the electrolyzer manufacturing. 2 gigawatt assembly line is going to be operational by 2027 to start from 2026, and 27 will be fully commissioned, where they'll be producing green electrolyzer in collaboration with John Cockrell from Belgium. They're also looking at possibility of setting up sustainable aviation fuel, methanol, a lot of other chemicals from methanol to olefins. And one of the important aspects which we have not discussed is the use of green chemical into pharma sector. The whole Andhra and Telangana region is rich in the pharma sector, so it's going to be a major producer of those green chemicals. So under the platform of Greenco, they are providing the large storage platform, and they have already committed $6 billion of adding 6 gigawatt capacity of solar, wind and hydro together in Kurnool. They have committed $4 billion for setting up 4 million tons of green ammonia complex. Nagarjuna Fertilizers, you know, is being converted as a green hub where they will be producing green hydrogen by first quarter 2026. And the Spectrum Power area, which is again near Kakinada, is being developed as a SEZ. Couple of issues I was thinking to raise, what more can be done in the Andhra Pradesh. I think the subject is so important and it is a sunrise sector, as you rightly said. This is going to be a revolution of green energy. Probably this kind of session needs more attention, more discussion. I would request a focused discussion in the state of Andhra Pradesh later on, where you may like to invite all the industry players, what more can be done, where we spend more time in going into the detail. I was thinking to request you for facilitating the aggregation of land, which you already talked about in your proposed policy. The second thing I was thinking about green access, which you already talked about. Third was providing a skilled resource. I know Andhra Pradesh has a huge talent pool, but they need to be trained and skilled to the new form of energy, new form of industry, where you already talked about skill council. I think the industry will be looking for this policy to be announced soon, and definitely a focused discussion on this, where we could really spend more time. I know you have a shortage of time, so I would like to stop here. And Greenco, being already a home company to Andhra Pradesh, has already committed almost $10 billion going forward from here to 2028. Thank you.
Thank you. As you rightly mentioned, one is Amit Singh, vocational skills, weather forecasting, either wind or solar radiation, all these things. Now, slowly it is coming, it is there, but we have to perfect, we have to go in how to predict accurate. That is where we are thinking. Now we have to tell us where to keep all these things. State government is very keen to put all these things. Now we are going for weather forecasting. We are going different websites, different countries also we are following. Even till today, people are unable to predict exact rainfall. That problem still persists. Broadly, indicators are coming. Sometimes that indicators also deviating. I don't mind this also wind and solar radiation, how far they are able to do. If you can guide us, we'll go all out, we'll establish. One is for industry, it will be useful for solar, and also for guiding the people continuously. Against in summertime, warning, all these things, it will be useful, we can work it out. Tripathi, as rightly mentioned, long back I used to tell him, as you rightly mentioned, we have gone energy auditing also, long back. Even GAIL pipelines, there were some leakages. Then I asked them, why can't you put it sensors? That is how we forced him to put it sensors and control room. Thereby no accident should happen. That is how we have gone at that time. So with all these things, as you rightly mentioned, we will have similar sessions continuously. This is the latest technologies up to green energy, which are all the innovative ideas. How to go reduction of cost in generating power, high efficiency, and also cost reduction in raw materials, domestic, how to go about, that is one. Second one, downstream industries, how to make it more viable. Except you, others are also working. I am 100% confident it will happen. Now people are saying green energy means 2x, or green hydrogen means 2x. How to reduce that, and ultimately how to go about cost reduction or optimization solutions. That is very, very important.
Sir, Vijay is pushing behind. I think he wants us to close fast. That's why I requested it needs some more time, because from green electron to green molecule, the spin-off benefit of molecules are much larger than pure electricity. The impact in the society and the value addition into molecule going into downstream chemistry, replacing all the polymers, plastics, pharmaceuticals, agri-chemicals. There is a huge opportunity when Andhra could be a hub for all those green molecules. That's what I wanted to have more time and discussion in the state.
One more session, we'll discuss all these things.
Thank you.
I'm also learning, I'm a student. Always I'm saying, life is a continuous learning process. If you stop learning, then diminishing returns will start. So I'm a good student, I will listen to you and then I will implement everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We found out that in today's panel discussion that AP is not just Andhra Pradesh, but it's also a state of abundant potential. But from Honorable Chief Minister's leadership, we now know it is capital for accelerated progress. I would now request Honorable Chief Minister to kindly felicitate all the panelists. We have with us Mr. Jörg Abel, who is the President of German Association. Honorable Chief Minister will be presenting Andhra's famous GI tagged Kondapalli toys. Andhra's Kondapalli toys have achieved fame over the years for being one of the most indigenously made, very old handcrafted toys in the world. I would also request Honorable Chief Minister to felicitate Sri JP Chalasani, CEO Suzlon. I would also request Honorable Chief Minister to felicitate Sri RK Chagi, CMD Power Grid. It's also my pleasure now to invite Mr. Suman Kumar. I would request Honorable Chief Minister to also felicitate Mr. Suman Kumar, CEO Avren. I would also take this opportunity to invite Sri Amit Singh, CEO Adani Green Energy Limited. Request Honorable Chief Minister to kindly hand over the token of appreciation from the Government of Andhra Pradesh. I'll also request Shri Bhuvanchand Tripathi ji to kindly join us on the stage. Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu garu request you to kindly felicitate Shri Tripathi garu. Director MNRE to kindly felicitate Honorable Chief Minister Sri Chandrababu Naidu.
Sir, 1 minute.